of your grief, but you'll always follow the voices beneath. Guileless son, your spirit will hate her, the flower who married my brother, the traitor, and you will expose his puppet behavior, for you are the proof of how we betrayed her loyalty. Hush, child, the darkness will rise from the deep and carry you down to sleep. Child, the darkness will rise from the deep and carry you down to sleep. Guileless son, each day you grow older, each moment I'm watching my vengeance unfold. For the child of my body, the flesh of my soul will die in returning the birthright he stole. The darkness will rise from the deep and carry you down to sleep. Child, the darkness will rise from the deep and carry you down to
Righty, hello guys, good evening. Here we are for a little bit Thursday adventures. Got busy, some other stuff, gotta some self-care and other things, but we will get to a full week ahead for the last week of 2021, and we'll have a great time of that. And we'll get to a little mobile streams, some Christmas streams this weekend as well. Gotta be fun. We'll do some little gift wrapping here tonight while I have time. Still gonna get to some stories, get those playlists together on YouTube, but I realize we'll always have plenty of time for that. A lot of time for that this week too. We'll get a full Horror Tuesday and we can do the Lovecraft playlist. Finishing that, we'll get some Jurassic Park, maybe a little tonight as well. But it will be fantastic, so welcome guys. Want to give a good shout out there. Last night we had Fave-A-Lot lurking, we had Richard at the Gate, Kip playing Phasma with a little bit, we had Marshmallow Fun showing up in there, and Zoogly as well. Several of you guys, Alucard TARDIS as well. Drop in the resub there, even though the alert didn't pop up. He can always do that later, I'm sure, but he did have the Golden Dragon Champion sigil there, so he popped in the chat. Several Dragon Knights at once. That was a very lovely, heartwarming, wonderful sight. Really do appreciate that. Fantastic. I want to thank Old Ruru for the follow just about less than an hour ago. Thank you for the follow there. And yeah, some fun Phasma there last night. A little bit of Overwatch, good fun. All that stuff. Pretty nice. And also, Force Guardian G was able to check out her stream a bit here tonight. She was the one, the little 2,000 pluser playing Phasma with yesterday, joined my lobby randomly, so that was fun. Thank you for the follow late last night after the fact, Force Guardian G, and go check her out as well. She's getting her follower goal of 200 and such, so I want to help out his fellow streamers and all. Alrighty, pretty good stuff then, guys. Let's get to a little gift wrapping. I'm going to start with some cards here. So I got a nice envelope today, nice little things to put these in. So first one I have here is, may you never be too grown up to search the skies on Christmas Eve. So that's a nice little gift there from my family. I'll have the other gifts here in the bag we're going to wrap in a second, but nice little gift card for the family. So we're going to write on the envelope first. I'll show a bit here on stream, which we'll show the gifts, we'll show the main wrapping part, we'll show the fun things. So we'll get to that for a little while here tonight while I have time before too busy other things, and then we'll get to a little Jurassic Park chapter. We'll probably call it for a night there. We'll get to that hunt event hopefully before Sunday night. Finish all those armored on, if that'll be possible. Waiting at the last minute, but maybe I'll come home Saturday night. We'll see. But I'll stream if I play in any case. Really not going to be recording too many games off stream. I think pretty much Overwatch the designated one just for sometimes here and there. But anyways, wonderful stuff. Good to be here, guys. Off for a great final weekend of 2021 and first Christmas, first New Year's Eve on stream. We shall have a great time of it and work with what we got for a fun time. And the Dragon's Roost. So a happy Christmas for now. We're pretty much just going to have the last main show here for Christmas probably. Maybe come back Christmas night. We shall see. But will be great. Great place to be on Twitch and everyone. Community and fun times. We'll get some more stories, more things later. But for now, we're having a fantastic time. The red and green. Great things. And you can see Discord and such too. Looking fine. Looking good. So Christmas and other fun, beautiful things. So all set. And yeah, just little announcements there on the Discord page. You feel free to join us to see all those and such. Everything else will be fantastic. So let's get to a little gift wrapping, some writing for now. Play a little music for you guys. The background, whichever themes we want. Got my Pandora renewed, so don't worry about the copyright and such of that because people understand just general music want to enjoy for all. But first card I'm going to do here is the envelope and card itself. So a fun time with that. We shall be set. Alrighty. Let's see the right volumes for that. Is that decent for you guys? Not too loud. Hopefully. Talk here. Enjoy. Turn it down a bit for your guys' end so it won't be quite as blaring. If I turn it down on your end, I would think that would be a little better for you. Okay, so first up we got this nice card here. Will be fantastic. Nice pen and marker. Alright, we shall write a card of it. Some little drawings or other, we'll see here. A nice time, just chill out a bit and enjoy that. So, some good decorations, and I'll show you guys a few things here and there. Should enjoy though. The best visual artist or such. But that's the trick with permanent ink. Once you write it, it's hard to undraw it. I mean, there's no eraser. Alright, this is off to a weird start. Yeah, trying to draw like a Christmas mushroom or such. Not the best so far, but that's okay. Solid colors. thinking with this. Oh man. Oh well, figure it out. Oh boy. Try it a little differently. Stream and such, we'll see. Okay. Just work on it bit by bit. Okay. Kinda silly. There's a nice little Christmas mushroom. I tried at least to other person not be fun. Okay. Alright, little things here. Got to be great. So check out a couple things real quick. It's live. Go. Live rolls and all this fun. Funny people. Plenty of time. Okay. This. there. Let's once again need never be too grown up to search the skies on Christmas Eve. Do a nice little carve. To lick this envelope, I suppose. Next we have this one here. It says, Dear Santa, I've been good all year. Okay, most of the time. Once in a while. Never mind. I'll buy my own damn presents. So, nice one for that. Okay. Let's see. Go. Next design here. Let's see. Okay, a few other designs here. We'll decide. Be good. Celestial star for that one. I'm trying to figure it out. That's alright. Not too bad. Right, for now, once more for the fun card. Just Santa. Dear Santa, I've been good all year. Okay, most of the time. Once in a while, never mind. I'll buy my own damn presents. Very nice. Envelope here. And now we will get to the gift wrapping. Fun time. Like that. Good. Alrighty. Is that. Got them. Time for big reveal. Excellent presents. Wrappings here. For Christmas this year, went to Comic-Con and got 2 Tribbles. 2 Tribbles for Christmas. So I'll leave all the packaging on for now. There's a few information section in, but yeah, 2 Tribbles. Star Trek for Christmas, here they are. It's time to wrap them. One of each, dark and light one. Pretty fun though. There they are. So it's a Star Trek friend as well. Alright, fun with that. Let's see, yeah, some nice rain here tonight, quite a bit of rain. Alright, first I'm going to turn them on before I wrap them. Because we want them to be alive upon delivery, so we find that Velcro patch. There's the heart of the Tribble. Yep, there it is, the heart of the Tribble. Turn that back on. Back inside. Lively little guys, yep. Make sure it works now. If you clap, huh? Nice. Pretty fun, guys. Got a Comic-Con my first year here. Alright. Got to wrap them up. That'll be set. And you can replace the battery, which is nice, so they will last plenty long time. Oh, I will need some scissors. Let me grab the... Forgot the scissors. Need that for the wrapping. They don't need too much wrapping, they're not that big, but pretty fun little guys. Okay, wrap them up. Extra room here. Let's see how we can do this. Table, but I wanted to do it for you guys. Do a mobile stream just for this. Okay. Good enough. Now the tape. Close them off. Enough. enough? Yeah, that'll work. Couple of pieces. Plenty of tape, those. Be fine. Wrapping them nice enough. Yeah, I can make that work for this one at least. Okay, attach the card to the top. Exciting stuff though. A real gift this year, you know. It is special. Good Christmas present. Comic-Con was on a month ago, so I don't have to wait too long. Alright, that's the one I have for here. Other one I will do a little more elaborate, and I'll turn them on as well. Bring the Tribble to life. Let's get that Tribble's heart going. Tags, all that later. Like, good for now. When I've given the authentic original form for this. Okay. Come up to. There we go. Another layer. This one. Yeah, only a couple days Christmas, so I'll turn them back on again. So those things away real quick. I'll be right back. I have the receipt for it still. Trouble toys. Alright, back in a second. Alright guys, on to a great weekend, great time. Let's get a little Jurassic Park here, quick chapter. And then we shall be set. With Christmas festivities, things tomorrow and such. It'll be great and a full week ahead. Good streams. Hopefully finish that Armored Weekly and hunt. Get some more event points. We'll have next week too though, so will be good. And yeah, the Armored we'll see for this weekend before Sunday night. We might be able to get it. We'll see. But good times, good fun. Alright, little Jurassic Park chapter for now. We'll call it a good night. Alright, fantastic. Alright, let's check it out. Little Jurassic Park. Alright guys, some other plugins, some other fun videos later on. Let's get to a little Jurassic Park here. Finish off the night. Look forward to a great time this weekend, and especially next week. So, time on stream. Okay, we left off here for the next park chapter. Here we have... I'll get him, Gennaro said, and left the room. Noon, bad news, waited, yeah, a bunch of stuff. Alright, on to the park. A faint crackling sound, like a fire in a fireplace. Something warm and wet tickled Grant's ankle. He opened his eyes and saw an enormous beige head. The head tapered to a flat mouth shaped like the bill of a duck. The eyes, protruding above the flat duck bill, were gentle and soft like a cow's. The duck mouth opened and chewed branches on the limb where Grant was sitting. He saw large, flat teeth in the cheek. And the warm lips touched his ankle again as the animal chewed. Okay. A duck-billed hadrosaur. He was astonished to see it up close. Sorry, I did forget to switch to Jurassic Park. My bad. Alright, there we go, officially Jurassic Park. You got it. I just did the first paragraph, so. A duck-billed hadrosaur. He was astonished to see it up close. Not that he was afraid. All the species of duck-billed dinosaurs were herbivores, and this one acted exactly like a cow. Even though it was huge, its manner was so calm and peaceful, Grant didn't feel threatened. He stared where he was on the branch, careful not to move, and watched as it ate. The reason Grant was astonished was that he had a proprietary feeling about this animal. It was probably a masaur from the late Cretaceous in Montana. With John Horner, Grant had been the first to describe the species. Masaurs had an upcurved lip which gave them the appearance of smiling. The name meant good mother lizard. Masaurs were thought to protect their eggs until the babies were born and could take care of themselves. Grant heard an interesting chirping, and the big head swung down. He moved just enough to see the baby hadrosaur scampering around the feet of the adult. The baby was dark beige with black spots. The adult bent her head low to the ground and waited, unmoving, while the baby stood up on its hind legs, resting its front legs on the mother's jaw, and ate the branches that protruded from the side of the mother's mouth. The mother waited patiently until the baby had finished eating and dropped back down to all fours again. Then the big head came up towards Grant. The hadrosaur continued to eat, just a few feet from him. Grant looked at the two elongated air holes on top of the flat upper bill. Apparently the dinosaur couldn't smell Grant, and even though the left eye was looking right at him, for some reason the hadrosaur didn't react to him. He remembered how the tyrannosaur had failed to see him the previous night. Grant decided on an experiment. He coughed. Instantly the hadrosaur froze. The big head suddenly still, the jaws no longer chewing. Only the eye moved, looking for the source of the sound. Then, after a moment, when there seemed to be no danger, the animal resumed chewing. Amazing, Grant thought. Sitting in his arms, Lex opened her eyes and said, "Hey, what's that?" The hadrosaur trumpeted in alarm, a loud resonant honk that so startled Lex that she nearly fell out of the tree. The hadrosaur pulled its head away from the branch and trumpeted again. "Don't make her mad," Tim said from the branch above. The baby chirped and scurried beneath the mother's legs as the Hadrosaur stepped away from the tree. The mother cocked her head and peered inquisitively in the branch where Grant and Lex were sitting. With its upturned, smiling lips, the dinosaur had a comical appearance. "Is it dumb?" Lex said. "No," Grant said. "You just surprised her." "Well," Lex said, "is she going to let us get down or what?" The Hadrosaur had backed 10 feet away from the tree. She honked again. Grant had the impression she was trying to frighten them away. But the dinosaur didn't really seem to know what to do. She acted confused and uneasy. They waited in silence, and after a minute the Hadrosaur approached the branch again, jaws moving in anticipation. She was clearly going to resume eating. "Forget it," Lex said. "I'm not staying here." She started to climb down the branches. At her movement, the Hadrosaur trumpeted in fresh alarm. Grant was amazed. He thought, "It really can't see us when we don't move, and after a minute it literally forgets that we're here." That was just like the Tyrannosaur, another classic example of an amphibian visual cortex. Studies of frogs had shown that the amphibians only saw moving things. Like insects, if something didn't move, they literally didn't see it. The same thing seemed to be true of dinosaurs. In any case, the Masaur now seemed to find these strange creatures climbing down the trees too upsetting. With a final honk, she nudged her baby and lumbered slowly away. She paused once and looked back at them, then continued on. They reached the ground. Lex shook herself off. Both children were covered in a layer of fine dust. All around them, the grass had been flattened. There were stacks of blood and a sour smell. Grant looked at his watch. "We better get going, kids," he said. "Not me," Lex said. "I'm not walking out there anymore." "We have to." "Why?" "Because," Grant said, "we have to tell them about the boat. Since they can't seem to see us on the motion sensors, we have to go all the way back ourselves. It's the only way." "Why can't we take the raft?" Tim said. "What raft?" Tim pointed to the low concrete maintenance building with the bars where they had spent the night. It was 20 yards away, across the field. "I saw a raft back there," he said. Grant immediately understood the advantages. It was now 7 o'clock in the morning. They had at least 8 miles to go. If they could take a raft along the river, they would make much faster progress than going over land. "Let's do it," Grant said. Arnold punched the visual search mode and watched as the monitors began to scan throughout the park, the images changing every 2 seconds. It was tiring to watch, but it was the fastest way to find Nedry's Jeep, and Muldoon had been adamant about that. He had gone out with Gennaro to look at the stampede, but now that it was daylight, he wanted the car found. He wanted the weapons. His intercom clicked. "Mr. Arnold, may I have a word with you, please?" It was Hammond. He sounded like the voice of God. "You want to come here, Mr. Hammond?" "No, Mr. Arnold," Hammond said. "Come to me. I'm in the genetics lab with Dr. Wu. We'll be waiting for you." Arnold sighed and stepped away from the screens. Grant stumbled deep in the gloomy recesses of the building. He pushed past 5-gallon containers of herbicide, tree pruning equipment, spare tires for a Jeep, coils of cyclone fencing, 100-pound fertilizer bags, stacks of brown ceramic insulators, empty motor oil cans, work lights, and cables. "I don't see any raft." "Keep going." Bags of cement, lengths of copper pipe, green mesh, and 2 plastic oars hung on clips on the concrete wall. "Okay," he said. "Where's the raft?" "It must be here somewhere," Tim said. "You never saw a raft?" "No, I just assumed it was here." Poking among the junk, Grant found no raft, but he did find a set of plans, rolled up and speckled with mold from humidity, stuck back in a metal cabinet on the wall. He spread the plans on the floor, brushing away a big spider. He looked at them for a long time. I'm hungry. Just a minute. They were detailed topographical charts for the main area of the island, where they now were. According to this, the lagoon narrowed into the river they had seen earlier, which twisted northward right through the aviary, and on to within a half-mile of the visitor lodge. He flipped back through the pages. How to get to the lagoon. According to the plans, there should be a door at the back of the building they were in. Grant looked up and saw it. Recessed back in the concrete wall, the door was wide enough for a car. Opening it, he saw a paved road running straight down toward the lagoon. The road was dug below ground level, so it couldn't be seen from above. It must be another service road, and it led to a dock at the edge of the lagoon, and clearly stenciled on the dock was raft storage. Hey, Tim said, look at this. He held out a metal case to Grant. Opening it, Grant found a compressed air pistol and a cloth belt that held darts. There were 6 darts in all, each as thick as his finger, labeled Moro 709. Good work, Tim. He slung the belt around his shoulder and stuck the gun in his trousers. Is it a tranquilizer gun? I'd say so. What about the boat? Lex said. I think it's on the dock, Grant said. They started down the road. Grant carried the oars on his shoulder. I hope it's a big raft, Lex said, because I can't swim. Don't worry, he said. Maybe we can catch some fish, she said. They walked down the road with the sloping embankment rising up on both sides of them. They heard a deep, rhythmic snorting sound, but Grant could not see where it was coming from. Are you sure there's a raft down there? Lex said, wrinkling her nose. Probably, Grant said. The rhythmic snorting became louder as they walked, but they also heard a steady, droning, buzzing sound. When they reached the end of the road, at the edge of the small concrete dock, Grant froze in shock. The Tyrannosaur was right there. Okay. Cool. It was sitting upright in the shade of a tree, its hind legs stretched out in front. Its eyes were open, but it was not moving, except for its head, which lifted and fell gently with each snorting sound. The buzzing came from the clouds of flies that surrounded it. Crawling over its face and slack jaws, its bloody fangs, and the red haunch of a killed hadrosaur that lay on its side behind the Tyrannosaur. The Tyrannosaur was only 20 yards away. Grant felt sure it must have seen him, but the big animal did not respond. It just sat there. It took a moment to realize the Tyrannosaur was asleep. Sitting up, but asleep. He signaled to Tim and Lex to stay where they were. Grant walked slowly forward onto the dock, in full view of the Tyrannosaur. The big animal continued to sleep, snoring softly. Near the end of the dock, a wooden shed was painted green to blend in with the foliage. Grant quietly unlatched the door and looked inside. He saw a half-dozen orange life vests hanging on the wall, several rolls of wire mesh fencing, some coils of rope, and 2 big rubber cubes sitting on the floor. The cubes were strapped tight with flat rubber belts. Several rolls of wire mesh fencing, some coils of rope. Alright, just quick stream test there. Yeah, flat rubber belts. Okay. Rafts. He looked back at Lex. She mouthed, "No boat." He nodded, yes. The Tyrannosaur raised its forelimb to swipe at the flies buzzing around its snout, but otherwise it did not move. Grant pulled one of the cubes out onto the dock. It was surprisingly heavy. He freed the straps, found the inflation cylinder. With a loud hiss, the rubber began to expand, and then with a hiss whap, it popped fully open on the dock. The sound was fearfully loud in their ears. Grant turned, stared up at the dinosaur. The Tyrannosaur grunted and snorted. It began to move. Grant braced himself to run, but the animal shifted its ponderous bulk and then it settled back against the tree trunk and gave a long, growling belch. Lex looked disgusted, waved her hand in front of her face. Grant was soaked in sweat from the tension. He dragged the rubber raft across the dock. It flopped into the water with a loud splash. The dinosaur continued to sleep. Grant tied the boat up to the dock and returned to the shed to take out 2 life preservers. He put these in the boat and then waved for the kids to come out onto the dock. Pale with fear, Lex waved back, no. He gestured yes. The Tyrannosaur continued to sleep. Grant stabbed in the air with an emphatic finger. Lex came silently, and he gestured for her to get into the raft. Then Tim got in, and they both put on their life vests. Grant got in and pushed off. The raft drifted silently out into the lagoon. Grant picked up the paddles and fitted them into the oarlocks. They moved farther from the dock. Lex sat back and sighed loudly with relief. Then she looked stricken and put her hand over her mouth. Her body shook with muffled sounds. She was suppressing a cough. She always coughed at the wrong times. Lex, Tim whispered fiercely, looking back toward the shore. She shook her head miserably and pointed to her throat. He knew what she meant, a tickle in her throat. What she needed was a drink of water. Grant was rowing, and Tim leaned over the side of the raft and scooped his hand in the lagoon, holding his cupped hand toward her. Lex coughed loudly, explosively, in Tim's ears. The sound echoed across the water like a gunshot. The Tyrannosaur yawned lazily and scratched behind its ear, with its hind foot just like a dog. It yawned again. It was groggy after its big meal, and it woke up slowly. On the boat, Lex was making little gargling sounds. "Lex, shut up," Tim said. "I can't help it," she whispered, and then she coughed again. Grant rowed hard, moving the raft powerfully into the center of the lagoon. On the shore, the Tyrannosaur stumbled to its feet. "I couldn't help it, Timmy," Lex shrieked miserably. "I couldn't help it." "Shh!" Grant was rowing as fast as he could. "Anyway, it doesn't matter," she said. "We're far enough away. He can't swim." "Of course he can swim, you little idiot!" Tim shouted at her. On the shore, the Tyrannosaur stepped off the dock and plunged into the water. It moved strongly into the lagoon after them. "Well, how should I know?" she said. "Everybody knows Tyrannosaurs can swim. It's all in the books. Anyway, all reptiles can swim. Snakes can't." "Of course snakes can, you idiot." "Settle down," Grant said. "Hold on to something." Grant was watching the Tyrannosaur, noticing how the animal swam. The Tyrannosaur was now chest deep in the water, but it could hold its big head high above the surface. Then Grant realized the animal wasn't swimming, it was walking, because moments later only the very top of the head, the eyes and nostrils protruded above the surface. But then it looked like a crocodile, and it swam like a crocodile, swinging its big tail back and forth so the water churned behind it, behind the head. Grant saw the hump on the back and the ridges along the length of the tail as it occasionally broke the surface. Exactly like a crocodile. He thought unhappily, the biggest crocodile in the world. "I'm sorry, Dr. Grant," Lex wailed. "I didn't mean it." Grant glanced over his shoulder. The lagoon was no more than 100 yards wide here, and they had almost reached the center. If he continued, the water would become shallow again. The Tyrannosaur would be able to walk again, and he would move faster in shallow water. Grant swung the boat around and began to row north. "What are you doing?" The Tyrannosaur was now just a few yards away. Grant could hear its sharp, snorting breaths as it came closer. Grant looked at the paddles in his hands, but they were like plastic, not weapons at all. The Tyrannosaur threw its head back and opened its jaws wide, showing rows of curved teeth, and then in a great muscular spasm lunged forward to the raft, just missing the rubber gunwale. The huge skull slapping down, the raft rocking away on the crest of the splash. The Tyrannosaur sank below the surface, leaving gurgling bubbles. The lagoon was still. Lex gripped the gunwale handles and looked back. Did he drown? No, Grant said. He saw bubbles, then a faint ripple along the surface, coming toward the boat. Hang on, he shouted as the head bucked up beneath the rubber, bending the boat and lifting into the air, spinning them crazily before it splashed down again. Do something, Alexis screamed. Do something! Grant pulled the air pistol out of his belt. It looked pitifully small in his hands, but there was the chance that if he shot the animal in a sensitive spot, in the eye or the nose, the Tyrannosaur surfaced beside the boat, opened its jaws and roared. Grant aimed and fired. The dart flashed in the light and smacked into the cheek. The Tyrannosaur shook its head and roared again. And suddenly they heard an answering roar, floating across the water toward them. Looking back, Grant saw the juvenile sauropod claiming the kill as its own. The juvenile slashed at the carcass, then raised its head high and bellowed. The big Tyrannosaur saw it too, and the response was immense. No, the response was immediate. It turned back to protect its kill, swimming strong toward the shore. He's going away, Lex squealed, clapping her hands. He's going away! Na 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 na, stupid dinosaur! From the shore, the juvenile roared deafeningly. No, defiantly. Enraged, the big Tyrannosaur burst from the lagoon at full speed, water streaming from its enormous body as it raced up the hill past the dock. The juvenile ducked its head and fled, its jaws still filled with ragged flesh. The big Tyrannosaur chased it, racing past the dead sauropod, disappearing over the hill. They heard its final threatening bellow, and then the raft moved to the north, around a bend in the lagoon, to the river. Exhausted from rowing, Grant collapsed back, his chest heaving. He couldn't catch his breath. He lay gasping in the raft. Are you okay, Dr. Grant? Lex asked. From now on, will you just do what I tell you? Okay, she sighed, as if she had just made the most unreasonable demand in the world. She trailed her arm in the water for a while. You stopped rowing, she said. I'm tired, Grant said. Then how come we're still moving? Grant sat up. She was right. The raft drifted steadily north. There must be a current. The current was carrying them north toward the hotel. He looked at his watch and was astonished to see it was 15 minutes past 7. Only 15 minutes had passed since he had last looked at his watch. It seemed like 2 hours. Grant lay back against the rubber gunwales, closed his eyes, and slept. Alright, on to the 5th iteration we will get to next time. Look forward to probably start of next week then. Flaws in the system will now become severe, from Ian Malcolm. It's on to Search chapter we'll get to next time. So, looking good for that, guys. We'll get to our Lovecraft playlist on Tuesday. Hopefully finish that hunt event before Sunday night. The event all of next week, but a weekly challenge for those armored. Want some armor, that's a fun one to try for at least, so do that. Probably get that prestige in, probably Saturday night, Sunday morning. Be back to that, so enjoy some of that. Have a good Christmas then all. I will hopefully get some mobile streams, Christmas streams for you guys. Will be wonderful. Looking forward to some more Dragon Knights on the chat, some more excellent time, and it will be great. So thank you, champions. Yesterday, a fun Phasmo stream, a little bit of Overwatch at the end. Thank you to everyone who came in and chat. Have a nice time with that. Played with as well. And I will see you very soon, guys. Alright, that'll do it for now. Until tomorrow, have a great Christmas Eve, great Christmas. Back in the Dragon's Juice soon. The end. Best wishes for now. And I will see you very shortly for Christmas Eve, sometime to stream tomorrow, most likely. Mobile, if nothing else. Have a good Christmas, guys. Great first year on the Dragon's Juice. Lovely times. And I'll see you guys in a bit. Enjoy. Best wishes for now. See you soon. Merry Christmas. All the best. Eyes open. Take care, guys. Catch you in a bit. Till then, sign off for now. Good night, guys. Fun hour stream there. I'll see you tomorrow. See you soon. Take care. Merry Christmas. Good night for now. I'll see you guys in a bit. Enjoy. Best wishes for now. See you soon. Merry Christmas. All the best. Eyes open. Take care, guys. Catch you in a bit. Till then, sign off for now. Good night, guys. Fun hour stream there. I'll see you tomorrow. See you soon. Take care. Merry Christmas. Good night for now. I'll see you guys in a bit.